In part 2, we're going to add a three-dimensional card into our scene and have SynthEyes extract a texture for it. So to do that, we're going to switch over to the perspective window and have it look through the camera. So we're just going to scrub through, and here are a bunch of trackers that are all on this graphic. So let's just select a couple of those. And those are actually going to be used now by the add card operation. So let's get the add card operation fired up. And we'll just pick out a particularly large card. And notice it's being created at the level of that graphic, not on the front part of the facade. We'll see what that results in a bit later. So let's switch to a solid view. And now we can go and look at the texture control panel. And we've already got a file name set up for the texture that's to be computed. We can adjust the resolution down a bit here in this particular example. And now we're ready to have the texture go be extracted. And SynthEyes is running through the entire sequence of images to produce that texture. And now here it is. And you notice the plane is selected, so it has that red color. So I can hide that red color just so we can see a bit more what we're looking at. And let's just do one other thing of switching over to the 3D panel. So I can just hide and show that plane again. And you'll see this is in the original imagery. There's a whole bunch of little noise sort of stuff that is not present in the computed texture. So the computed texture is a lot cleaner. Now one thing you will notice though is that there's this artifact up here that is actually due to this post. And the post is moving across the texture that we're computing during the length of the shot. So it's getting in the way and messing things up a bit. And fortunately in SynthEyes there are a couple things to do about that. So what let's do is go down and select a couple of the trackers at the base of that pole just so we can see where they show up in the other view. And I apologize, the capture window has to be a bit small for this, so the texture panel I keep on having to move around. So let's go and drop in a cylinder right over top of those trackers. And that cylinder, we want to be telling SynthEyes to block the texture extraction process whenever that cylinder is in between the camera and the texture that's being calculated. So we just adjust that particular setting there. And now let's go back to our card. And now we're ready just about. Let's make it a little more easy to see. Hide the cylinder. Let the card be shown. So here's the artifact up there. One other thing I should do, just to speed things up a little, I'm just going to cut down the resolution or the number of segments of the blocking cylinder. There doesn't really need to have all that many facets involved. So now that just saves a little time. We'll let the texture extraction process run again. And now it's going, and it's basically ignoring that texture extraction process whenever that cylinder is in the way. Now we could also set up a garbage mat to block out that portion using the SynthEyes roto capabilities. Depending on the situation, one or the other may be easier. Here I just wanted to show this cylinder technique. And once we do that, now you see that we have a much cleaner looking texture that we're ready to do something else with. So that's it for this